I'm going to show you how I take some photos of mine and turn them into some resin-covered wood plaques. First thing I do is I stain the wood. Doesn't matter which color you want. I use ebony because I like a dark colored stain. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to let it dry overnight. Okay, now it's nice and dry. It's ready to get sealed. I like using the Mod Podge glossy finish to do that. It's so hard to say. You want to keep your application of this pretty thin because it'll dry clear that way. But if you put too much on there and glob it up, it will turn white. So you don't want that. And just like the stain, we're going to let this stuff dry overnight. The next morning brings us to gluing the photos to the wood plaque. I've got these nice little Harbor Freight clamps that I use to pin one side of the photo. To glue the photo, we're going to use this Elmer's spray adhesive that's photo safe. Let's not forget to shake it up real good. I like applying a nice coat to the piece of wood first, then to the back of the photo. Then I use this roller I picked up off Amazon and I roll the photo down slowly to the edge of the wood plaque. Then I roll back over all of it just for safe measure. We're going to flip this around, remove the clamps, and apply some adhesive to where the clamps were sitting. And we'll use our roller just to roll all that back out. I did that to 4 more photos. I'm going to let it dry for 8 hours, and then we'll pour our resin over the top of it. All right, this brings us to mixing our resin, which I'm starting with 12 ounces of hardener here. Followed up by another 12 ounces of the resin. I personally like my resin to be between 70 and 80 degrees, so this is a little cold. I'm going to use this double boil setup on my stove to warm it up a bit. Let's see where we're at here. 86. It's a little warm, but it'll cool down as I stir it up before I pour it. This is just a cheap $2 paintbrush from Home Depot that I use to spread it around. All right, here we go. I've got to make this 24 ounces last across the 5 wood plaques. This resin is self-leveling, but I use the paintbrush to kind of spread it around since the viscosity of the actual liquid is thicker. So it just speeds up the process of covering the plaque. I use the last little bit of what's in my container to make sure I hit the edges. All right, out comes the torch. I use the torch to work out all the bubbles that have been trapped in the resin. Basically, they call this gassing, is where there's air that gets trapped either in the photo or on the wood or in stirring up the actual resin. We use the torch to work out all the air bubbles. That way it has a good chance of drying with less bubbles. I said the word bubbles a lot there, but you get the point. And there you have it. All the air bubbles are worked out. We're going to let this first coat cure for 24 to 48 hours. Then we'll sand it down and apply a second coat to finish it all off. So stay tuned. I'll make a part 2 of this video and show you how it all turns out.